Right guys, now in the last video we were looking at supply curves. What I want to do in this presentation is to look at market equilibrium. Okay, so in the free market economy, how much is sold, who buys it, at what price, is determined by how supply and demand interact. So what we do, we build up this model again, quantity against price. What we should all now be familiar with is we have this downward sloping demand curve and this upward sloping supply curve. Now to work out what price we will have in the market is determined by where demand and supply are equal to each other. Let's just call this P star. Star because it's like the magic point, if you like, it's the equilibrium point. And we call this Q star. Okay, now linked to this, something that we call in economics the invisible hand. Now the invisible hand is what steers free markets, and the idea would be that every single market should gravitate towards this point where P star equals Q star, and we call this our market equilibrium point, the point where demand is equal to supply. Okay, now let's think about why this will happen. Now what we've got, imagine we start off at a really low price. Let's call it P2. Okay, now what you'll notice here is, and you should do anyway, is that we have a very small supply in the market. The price is so low that firms are basically not prepared to sell at this price, or not many anyway. There's just not enough profit to be had. The market is too, well, they can't generate the profit they would need to want to keep themselves in this marketplace. But the demand is all the way out here. At low prices, what we should know is demand will be huge. Lots and lots of people want to buy the good or service. Now the gap between these two would show me an excess demand. All this basically means the demand exceeds the supply in the marketplace. If you think about what this would mean, it would mean that there's massive scarcity across the economy. Shops that are selling the stuff have got queues out the door. They can't get enough in stock to be able to keep up with demand. Now, when demand is bigger than supply, think about an auction, for example. Imagine there's one item being sold and 20 people bid. Well, bidding will take place, and what it will do, it will force up the market equilibrium price. And as the price starts to grow, then more firms will think, you know what, I'm now quite keen to supply in this marketplace. There's now some profit to be had. And supply will keep growing as the price increases. But as the price increases, demand will start to fall. Some people will start to leave the market, and it will keep going on like this until we get back to that magic market equilibrium point where P star equals Q star. Okay, so when you think about it, what we're saying there is that the market can clear excess demand. Now what the market can also do, it can clear the opposite. Let's call this P3. Now look at this problem. Now the price now in the market is really high. The supply is all the way out here. It's huge. High prices, big incentive to produce, big profits to be had. But this high price, the demand, is very low. The price is too high for most people. Many people are not willing and able to buy. Now look at this. The demand is low. Supply is really high. We call this an excess supply. It basically means that businesses have got stock stuck on the shelves that they cannot sell. Okay, so think about what happens if you've got a load of stock you can't sell. You have to lower the price. As prices start to fall back towards that market equilibrium point, demand will start to increase. Okay, so lower price will incentivize more people to buy. And as the price falls, then some firms will leave the market, and the price will keep on falling again until we get back to that magic equilibrium point. So when you think about it then, when you're at P3, prices are too high, we need the price to fall, so we get that extension in demand. We need the price to fall, so you get that contraction in supply. When you've got excess demand, what you want to happen, you want the price to increase to clear the market. So what we get this extension in supply, and we get this contraction in demand. So based on that, what we also call the market equilibrium point is the market clearing price. Simply because it's the price that will clear the market, the point where we'll have no excess demand or excess supply. What we'll do in the next diagram is to think about shifts in demand and supply curve.